records show that there was 52 in attendance of tonight's meeting. The minutes of the previous meeting were made available to senators. Are there any corrections to the Senate Journal at this time? Hearing none, the Senate Journal is approved as provided. Today, we do have one special guest here to speak with us. Please welcome to the front, Mr. Michael Gunn.
Greetings, Senate. I'm hoping this has been a good year for you. You know, I was sitting with the legislative branch, and we're talking about incentives to try to get you guys to finish your points quicker. And we came up with a plan to give away some valuable prizes for those who actually completed their points. We'll be giving away prizes tonight, and then next week for anyone who actually completes it between now and then. If Vanna would please put this one. Spin the wheel.
Try this one and see if it works.
It's right now, whenever it's open again.
Sorry, yeah. I'll take it.
Drum roll, please. Spin it again?
Yep. Remove it and spin it again.
Oh. Drum roll, please. Hey. Senator Villegas.
I already have one. We get another.
A blanket. Oh.
Yeah, keep going.
Still got more. We got it.
The picture.
Yay!
Yeah, very good. What is this ad going on? All right. Clean.
Okay.
How many more are we going?
Keep going.
Keep going.
He's a man
I was
of giving.
expecting more to have points done.
Oh. Oh.
Do you have a blanket?
Blanket.
Do you have a blanket?
We're just gonna get it. Everybody's gonna get it.
I would have said
They're all gonna get one.
Yeah.
Who's it gonna be?
Who's it going to be?
Wes is looking.
Oh, he's right here? All right. He gets a hat. All right.
Andrew.
Just for old time's sake, spin the last time.
Yes, that's what I think too. Who's it gonna be?
Who's it going to be?
Oh.
Andrew! Oh, man!
He don't want the blanket. Thank you.
All right. All right. We'll do another round. There'll only be like 3 prizes next time. So hopefully you guys will get it done as quickly as possible. And we will actually have another spinning next meeting. Yay!
There are no other special guests at this moment in time, so we shall proceed to open forum. Rule 32, Section 2 of the Senate says that any student enrolled in Texas Tech may address the Student Senate during open forum on any issue for a maximum of 10 minutes. Is there any person that would like to address the Senate at this time? If so, please rise. Seeing none, we should now proceed to executive reports. Please welcome at this moment in time Chief of Staff Ryan Cavazos.
Good evening, everyone. Our official town hall is going to be on Thursday, November 13th from 1 to 2 p.m. in the sub in the Escondido Theater. It'll be mainly going over a lot of the student success corridor, and we have a tech announcement being sent out on Tuesday for all students to be welcome. And then we're going to do a little Friendsgiving SGA social mixer And so my interns came up with the idea to make it a service opportunity event. So if you come, we'll have a list. Like you sign up for a list to bring a certain type of food, and then also you can bring like non-perishable items like corn, a can of corn, or whatever. You bring it in, that'll give you a service hour for your requirement, your needs for service hours here. So yeah, that's all for me. Thank y'all.
Please welcome Interim External Vice President Bobby Stevens.
Hi guys. So I don't have much. I wanted to start it off with a quote. I wanted to keep the tradition going. I chose one by a really, really talented author. His name's Wendell Berry. It is to use gifts less than well is to dishonor them and their giver. So I have no doubt that every single one in this room uses their gifts to the best of their ability, but I felt that it could be reminded as we turn this last corner of the semester about all the people we serve and how good we all look doing it. Secondly, speaking of service, there will be tabling opportunities every Wednesday from 12 to 2. The sign-ups are still open if you need more service hours, if you want to have some extra service hours. They will be there to sign up. And then finally, it says new title, same person. My office will be open, and I'm still the same person that you know. And I'm really excited to get to work with you guys, though it may be a little different. Thank you guys.
Please welcome Student Body President Faith Geist White.
Hi everybody. So first thing is SGA faculty, staff, and SGA mixer. That's going to be next Wednesday from 5 to 6:30 in the sub ballroom. I think Melanie sent out the flyer for that in the group me, and you really all should be there because you'll get to meet some amazing faculty and staff. And apparently there's going to be this amazing Red Raider punch that the top tier catering makes, and so apparently that's going to be there. Staff is working on bringing that, and so super exciting. And then committees. So I don't know, I probably should have included this originally whenever we kind of went over intros for the offices back at Senate Retreat, and I didn't. And so I wanted to cover this with you guys as a tool, because the next thing I'm going to talk about is projects and legislation for operations. And so a lot of what they've been talking about, and y'all covered a little bit in Senate, was whenever you submit a piece of legislation that's about operations or fixing seating, to also submit a work order. And so I'm going to show you some of the benefits of that. But also, I wanted to share with you guys all of the councils and committees that I sit on. And so part of that reasoning for that is because, for example, if you're writing a piece of legislation about adding a minor or a concentration or a major or changing the titles, I actually sit on the committee that approves that. And so being an asset to you guys, I think that I could help raise your voice and your concerns in those meetings. And if you're not aware of those committees, then how am I best serving you guys once you pass that legislation? So I'll go over them really briefly, not to take a lot of y'all's time. If you have any questions about them, I'm more than happy to always answer them and be an asset and be helpful. So first one is Academic Council. That's the one that approves all of the degree plans, majors, minors, concentrations, all of that stuff. They're the ones that actually approve fall break for the first time in like 10 plus years. So they do that. Also Athletic Council, which I had a meeting this afternoon for. Project Advisory Group, that one's changing a little bit of dynamics, but that's kind of where I learned about all of the operations stuff. And then I also sit on a bookstore advisory committee that deals with the bookstore inside the student union, an RFP for that as well. TTU Safety Committee, SGA, and Auxiliary Services, all of exec actually sits on. And then RFP for a plagiarism site, Student Success Corridor with Ryan, which we're getting into more detail at the town hall about. Honors and Awards Committee, where we honor faculty and staff. Housing, Student Code of Conduct, different fee committees, which we just presented to Noel at the very beginning of the week. And so all of those fees actually passed, and now they're going to the Board of Regents and then back to the President. So that's super exciting. Admin and Finance Committee, Big 12 Championship with the game coming up. And then a Fall Break Advisory Committee now, which meets in 2 weeks, and I'm so excited for it because then we're going to draft our recommendation and proposal to send to the provost. So those are a little bit of breakdown of the committees. If you'll go to the next slide, actually, I think. Yeah. Okay, so this is a lot of stuff that I included for pictures, for examples. So some of this could have been legislation that we wrote, but it's also some things that are accomplished from our operations department that are either from work orders, from faculty, from staff, from students when they're hearing concerns. So the top corner on the far right is a classroom in education. It did not look like that. That is the new picture of it. Some of them I included before and afters. So like biology at the top left, you'll see the before and then you'll see the after right underneath it. The before has like the tannish background, and then the after has a blue. All reds, that's new in the Wiggins complex. The bottom was one of the most interesting to me because it's the chemistry building. And so, do y'all remember when opening the chemistry building doors, there was kind of like, you really had to pull on it and be really strong? Okay, because that was the air something? The what? Air handler, yeah. So the air handlers weren't functioning correctly, so they installed 2 of these gigantic ones. The cost for them were actually insane whenever I learned. But, so now when you open those chemistry doors, you should be able to not have to like use your muscles so much to open them. The bottom right is civil engineering, an update of a classroom. So if you see issues like this that are happening on campus, or if you see a classroom that needs improvement, or you see something like this, always feel free to talk to them, write legislation, do a work order. But these are some of the big impacts that we could be making and that y'all are making. And so I wanted to make sure and share that with you because I'm so proud of all the legislation that y'all are writing and the commitment y'all have in SGA. And I think these are really exciting things that benefit students. So that's about those. And then the next thing is EVP and GVP. Super excited to welcome Bobby to the team. I think he's going to be an amazing addition, and we're super excited to have him on board. Graduate Vice President, we interviewed 4 people today, and so we wrapped up those interviews. So y'all should be seeing an interim appointment for Graduate Vice President in the near future. But that's all from me, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank y'all.
We shall proceed forward to our judicial reports by the Supreme Court. At this time, please welcome Associate Justice Montgomery to deliver the Supreme Court report.
Hi, for y'all who don't know me, my name is Cam Montgomery. So recently, the Texas Supreme Court received a petition for review from Mr. Crispus in coma concerning his impeachment as removal as Graduate Vice President on September 29, 2025. After reviewing the petition, accompanying motions, and relevant governing documents, the court has determined that Mr. Crispus's petition for review must be dismissed for 2 independent reasons. First, under the Texas Tech University Student Handbook, students have 3 school days to appeal disciplinary or judicial action. Mr. Crispus' petition was filed after that appeal window expired, placing it outside the jurisdictional timeline for review. Second, even if the petition were procedurally proper, it fails on the merits. Mr. Crispus' filing asserts that the articles of impeachment were legally insufficient, that the sentence roll was conducted by a secret ballot in violation of open vote requirements, and that no separate removal vote was taken, therefore claiming he remains in office. Upon examination, the court finds no constitutional or procedural violation warranting judicial intervention. Under Article 3, Section 11 of the SGA Constitution and Title 2, Chapter 1 of the SGA Code of Law, the Student Senate possesses exclusive authority to impeach and remove executive officers. The judiciary's role is not to relitigate internal political or disciplinary actions unless clear due process violations have occurred. There is no evidence that Mr. Crispus was denied notice on any opportunity to respond. Additionally, there is no evidence that sentence proceedings were conducted in violation of the governing rules and procedures. Accordingly, when the Senate voted to impeach Mr. Crispus on September 29, 2025, the office was vacated and the process was complete. The court therefore upholds the sentence action and declines to grant a trial on further review. That is
Thank
all
you,
I have.
Associate
Thank you.
Montgomery. Moving on to the remarks of the President of the Senate. So we do have 1 meeting left of the semester. So just a reminder, please be aware of your point requirements and your progress towards completing them so far. Last week I sent out an email. Yes, Senator Hargara.
President, we have a new senator who has not been sworn in.
One moment. We'll get to that in a moment. Thank you. Where was I at? Oh. Please be aware of your point requirements so far. I did send out that email of that point sheet last week. If you're looking at it right now, I have not updated it right now on our side, so it's not updated on your side. However, Monday, all of the pieces that you present tonight will be inputted into that point sheet, as well as any point submission forms that you submit before Monday morning. So if you want that to be reflected by Monday, you want to take a look at that by Monday, make sure you're getting your point submission form in. I sent that also in an email in our group, as well as anything that you kind of need to do in that regards. Additionally, make sure that you are getting your IVP meeting. Again, you have until December 3rd to do so. You know where to find me. Again, little link at the bottom of my email. Please just let me know if you can meet, or if you want to meet, you could also come in with another senator if you want to do that as well. Next is merch order. We got word that they should be in within the next 2 weeks, I believe. So if you had a merch order and it did go through, make sure just to be aware and look out for a text from either Sabrina or Reese on when that will be in and where it will be coming into. So that's kind of all I had today, but as always, we are here for something much greater than ourselves. And the vision of the 61st session says, as one unified body, we work to empower every Red Raider through leadership, advocacy, and community. With intentional representation and a spirit of innovation, we leave a legacy of excellence that shapes the future of Texas Tech. I want this to serve as a reminder of your duty as a student leader and your duty to the 61st session, first and foremost, above all else, to be a student leader. And so also just to keep working hard. You're almost to the end of the semester, and you have one more to go. Next, we will be, at this time, we'll be giving committee reports. When your committee is called, the chair, vice chair, committee member designated to present the report will rise and give a brief summary of the report, ensuring to touch on any key issues the committee's wishes to be addressed. We will start with college committees, moving alphabetically throughout them, and then proceed to standing committees. Senator Downs.
Madam President, I move to suspend the rules that require us to read committee reports.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Christinelli to suspend the standing rule that requires us to read committee reports. This motion is undebatable. Undebatable requires a majority vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, please say no. Ayes have it. Rules are suspended. We will be skipping committee reports. We should now proceed to routine motions and other business. As we mentioned, we do have a new senator and a couple of new senators in the Senate with us today. If you have not been sworn in yet, please rise at this moment in time. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do hereby solemnly swear that I shall faithfully execute the duties of the office of senator. I shall, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Student Government Association of Texas Tech University and the regulations which be made in pursuance thereof. Congratulations. At this time, the floor is now open for any other routine motions and other business. Senator Rodriguez.
Madam President, I move to reconsider Senate Resolution 61.31 stating the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding the fixture of the AC units within Texas Tech Media and Communication Building. It was passed during the last Senate meeting, and I vote on the prevailing side.
Do I hear a second? It has been moved and seconded by Senator Villegas to reconsider Senate Resolution 61.31. This motion is debatable since the motion to which it applies is debatable, is not amendable, and requires a majority vote to pass. Just for clarification to the Senate, the motion to reconsider is for the purpose of considering the piece and the vote that was taken on it again. That means that this motion if this motion to reconsider passes, Senate Resolution 61.31 will be brought back to the floor for consideration and to be voted on again. At this time, is there any questions that I may clarify before we get to this? Seeing none, Senator Rodriguez, you have, since you're the maker of the motion, you have the right to first debate. Would you like to debate at this time?
I just wanted to state that the real objective of the piece was just to talk about the students' sentiments and why they feel comfortable in this building. But after further consideration, we realized that there's verbiage that is incorrect and a little misleading in the piece. So we're just going to try and do it over again
Is there any other discussion at this time? Seeing none, please vote in the polls on whether or not you wish to bring this piece back to the floor for reconsideration of pass or fail. Missing. With 47 in the affirmative and 5 in the negative, the motion passes. Right now, on the floor, Senate Resolution 61.31 is back on third and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable to the second degree, and does require a majority vote yet again to pass. Is there any discussion right now on Senate Resolution 61.31? Is there any points of information or parliamentary inquiries at this time? Seeing none, please proceed to vote in the polls on Senate Resolution 61.31 to pass it or to fail it. With 28 in the affirmative, 24 in the negation, Senate Resolution 61.31 passes yet again. Is there... Say that again.
Are we allowed to do a revote?
As a
Division.
division. A division has been called. At this moment in time, we will now re-vote on this motion. Please vote in the polls. Can you reopen it? You're good. Please give us one moment and make sure to keep the chamber quiet. We are still on air. Please vote in the polls. Missing one. Senator Kirkpatrick. We're voting on Senate Resolution 61.31 again. A division was called.
Right, but are we voting, like, over the whole piece, or?
Yes, ma'am. We're voting. The piece was brought back onto the floor for reconsideration, so it's basically just considering it again, like we did for third and final passage. It's almost as if someone brought it up again for third and final passage. Is there anything I can clarify? New information was brought to light, and it passed last meeting. However, it was incorrect last meeting. Because of the sentiments that was incorrect, they wanted to reconsider the piece altogether because it was incorrect and passed. And I am under the interpretation that they didn't want it to pass because of the misinformation in it. So we're bringing it forward again, just so we can make sure that piece does not get sent out and a new piece can be written. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry.
You're good. With 7 in the affirmative, 44 in the negation, 2 in the abstain, motion fails. Is there any other routine motions or other business at this time? Seeing none, we should now proceed to first reading. Senate Bill 61.02. Senator Villegas.
I would like to introduce Senate Bill 61.02 concerning the allocation of seats in the Student Senate of Texas Tech University for the 61st session of the Student Government Association. May I first vote?
You may.
Good evening, everyone. This bill is very cut and dry. I'm going to go ahead and read it just for the record. The seats of the Senate are allocated annually in accordance with the Senate Reapportionment Act of 2014. That act provides a formula based on enrollment for determining representation in the Senate. The enrollment numbers for fall semester of 2025 have been released, and having the enrollment numbers in hand, the duty has the Senate to allocate the seats based on the latest and most accurate figures of to best represent students. Therefore, be hereby enacted the Student Senate of Texas Tech University. Be hereby enacted by the Student Senate of Texas Tech University the following. Title 1. I'm going to go to Title 2. That the Davis College of Agriculture, Science and Natural Resources be allocated 4 seats upon the apportionment of this act. That the Huckabee College of Architecture is allocated 2 seats upon the adoption of this act. That the College of Arts and Sciences is allocated 13 seats upon the adoption of this act. That the Jerry S. Rawls College of Business Administration is allocated 9 seats. The College of Education is to be allocated 3 seats. Edward E. Whitaker Junior College of Engineering will be allocated 8 seats. Honors College will be allocated 3 seats. College of Health and Human Sciences will be allocated 5 seats. The College of Media and Communications will be allocated 3 seats. The J.T. and Margaret Tuckington College of Visual and Performing Arts will be allocated 2 seats. The School of Law will be allocated 2 seats. The Graduate School will be allocated 9 seats. General Studies will be allocated 3 seats. And University Studies will be allocated 3 seats. In accordance with Article 2, Section 2, Subsection 2 of the Constitution of the Student Government Association, 14 seats shall be allocated to those senators representing the university at large. I move to suspend the rule where bills and pieces have to be passed on second reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Sweden to suspend the standing rule that requires all pieces to be placed onto second reading and sent to all committees. This motion is undebatable, unamendable, and requires a 2/3 majority vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, please say no. Ayes have it, motion passes. The rules are suspended.
I move to send Senate Bill 61.02 to third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Bijou to place Senate Bill 61.02 onto third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable to the second degree. It requires a 2/3 majority vote to pass. Is there any discussion at this moment in time? Senator Akinyeye.
My questions are, why are the Senate seats for the College of Media and Communications being
Being
removed?
what?
Oh, okay. I just wanted to know, like, specifically as to why this specific college, like, the seats are, like, being limited from, like, 4 to 3.
The allocation is based on the Reapportionment Act of 2014, which is a mathematical formula determined from the entire population of Texas Tech University and the population of your college.
Senator Mao.
Question about that formula too. Regarding the honors college, since people can be in both the honors college and something else, how do they factor that?
They're both included.
I was just curious in regards to how they allocate that.
Yes. So if you're an honors student and you're a student in another college, you're counted in both colleges.
Yeah.
The same way as if you were in Rawls and Arts and Sciences.
Is there any points of information or debate at this time? Seeing none, vote in the polls. With 52 in the affirmative, 1 in the negation, 1 in the abstain, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.57.
I rise to introduce Senate Resolution 61.57, stating the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding having water refilling stations around campus. May I approach the podium?
You may.
Okay, this resolution's really short, but it's just about adding more water refilling stations across the campus to make clean drinking water easier to access. It aims to improve student health, reduce plastic waste, and support the university's sustainability goals. By expanding the options of water refill stations in high traffic areas, it can promote convenience for students, environmental responsibility, and a healthier campus culture as a whole. So, Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution 61.57 on second reading and send to all committees.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Fitch to place Senate Resolution 61.57 onto second reading and sent to all committees. This motion is undebatable, unamendable, requires a majority vote. Vote in the polls. With 54 in the affirmative, 1 in the negation, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.58. Senator Hernandez.
Madam President, I rise to introduce Senate Resolution 61.58, stating the Senate regarding the ban of tortilla tossing tradition. Can I approach the podium?
You may.
Alright guys, this is pretty straightforward. I'm just gonna read the whole thing just so I don't get anything wrong, but it's pretty much says the throwing of tortillas at kickoff has been a cherished Texas Tech University tradition since 1990, symbolizing unity, excitement, and school spirit among Red Raiders, and it has recently been banned following new regulations from the Big 12 Conference, prohibiting the throwing of objects onto the playing surface. While many students may disagree with the ban of the beloved custom, the Student Senate recognizes and respects the decision set forth by Texas Tech University and the Big 12 Conference. This moment provides an opportunity to demonstrate the adaptability and leadership of our Red Raider community by honoring our traditions in a new and creative ways while upholding the integrity and the reputation of our university. The Big 12 Conference has announced that any violation of this rule will result in a $100,000 fine imposed on the university following an initial warning. The funds that could be lost through such penalties would be far better utilized in supporting Texas Tech academics and student athletes, our peers and friends, who dedicate their time and effort to representing Texas Tech with excellence. Additionally, it should be noted that any fines paid to the Big 12 would be reallocated to other member institutions, diverting valuable resources away from our own program and initiatives that directly benefit Texas Tech community. It must also be acknowledged that the football players competing in the Jones AT&T Stadium are student athletes who balance their academic and athletic responsibilities with dedication and discipline. It would be unjust for their hard work to be diminished or penalized because of actions by fans in the stands. At Texas Tech, we take pride in our unmatched spirit, passion, and love for our teams and university. Let us therefore express that pride in a way that uplifts and honors our athletes rather than jeopardizes their success. This is our opportunity to show the Big 12 and the nation that the Red Raiders can evolve with pride, unity, and respect. So it's pretty much saying we may not agree with the ban, but we understand the importance of it and where the funds that will go. So I've moved to place this Senate Resolution 61.58 onto second reading.
It's been moved and seconded by Senator Stevens to place Senate Resolution 61.58 onto second reading and sent to all committees. This motion is undebatable, unamendable, and requires a majority vote. Please vote in the polls. While you're doing that, I also want to direct your attention, if you look in your folders, you should have a Parley Pro cheat sheet card, quick sheet. So that's based off the feedback of a lot of senators I've been having meetings with, and my lovely interns helped put them together. So missing one. With 50 in the affirmative, 4 in the negation, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.59. Senator McCall.
I rise to introduce Senate Bill 61.59, stating the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding the reopening of the Sam's Express in the Liberties.
You may.
so basically, 61.59 is just to reopen the Sam's Place in the Livermore Center. Not sure if anyone knows where that is, but it's like where all the engineers kind of hang out. It's like our little center. And it was recently shut down in COVID due to just a lower foot traffic. But most recently, the College of Engineering did like a little pop-up thing, like a coffee pop-up, in that Sam's Place, and a lot of people came. There was like 70 or 80 people. I'm not exactly sure on the numbers because the thing's not up here, but there was like a lot of people who came. And the dean for the College of Engineering also wants this place to open back up. He said that he would go there, and a lot of the department chairs for the College of Engineering. Yeah, so Madam President, I move to place Senate Bill 61.59 on second reading and sent to all committees.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Freybacher to place Senate Resolution 61.59 onto second reading and sent to all committees. This is undebatable, unamendable, requires a majority vote. Open the polls. Senator Alessio. Thank you. Missing two. With 100% in the affirmative, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.60. Senator Tippin.
Madam President, I rise to present Senate Resolution 61.60 stating the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding the continued exploration of parking space solutions in front of the Student Disability Services building. May I approach the podium?
You may.
Hi guys, so this piece is basically going over that there is no parking, there's not a parking lot even in front of the Student Disability Services building. A lot of people who are a part of that are needing those parking spaces. They have talked with the people in the Student Disability Service Department, and they are definitely open to the idea and are wanting more parking spaces as well. This would just really help the students who need who need a place to park, and also who especially because a lot of these people are handicapped, this is like really helpful for them to be able to get to where they need to be without having to go super far distances. So with that, Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution 61.60 on second reading and sent to all committees.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Richard to place Senate Resolution 61.60 onto second reading and sent to all committees. This is undebatable, unamendable. Go on the polls. Missing two. Senator Villegas. Senator Villegas.
Friendly amendment, line 46 needs a therefore.
Thank you. With 100% in the affirmative, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.61. Senator Stevens.
Madam President, I rise to present Senate Resolution 61.61. May I approach the podium?
You may.
Okay, so this piece is just about improving signage in Holden Hall for a map. So we spoke with one of the assistant deans and suggested adding a QR code for the first couple weeks of school that incoming students and students who may not have had class in Holden Hall before can scan. It'll be a big QR code on giant posters, and they will just scan it, and then they can have access to that code all year. That way they can get around Holden Hall and prevent any being late to class, worse experience, stuff like that. And with that being said, Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution 61.61 on second reading and sent to all committees.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Poile to place Senate Resolution 61.61 onto second reading and sent to all committees. This is undebatable, unamendable. Requires majority vote. Vote on the polls. Missing 3. Senator Edwards. With 54 in the affirmative, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.62. Senator Poile.
Madam President, I would like to present Senate Resolution 61.62 about the implementation of an update on the research and outreach section on the College of Health and Human Sciences website. May I appoint the podium?
You may.
Hi everyone, for those who don't know me, my name is Cynthia and I'm the Senator for Health and Human Sciences. So this speech is pretty self-explanatory. Currently on the website for Health and Human Sciences, there's a research and outreach section that is so outdated. There is no faculty and their research area exposed. So students found it complicated to find those opportunities, and this piece is about that. So Madam President, ma'am, this piece to second. I move to place this piece to second passage and send to all committees.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Hernandez to place Senate Resolution 61.62 onto second reading and sent to all committees. Please vote on the polls. With 100 in the affirmative, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.63.
Madam President, I rise to introduce Senate Proposition 61.63 stating the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding the implementation of security cameras in the College of Media and Communications. May I please approach the podium?
You may.
Hello everyone, if I haven't met you already, my name is Yemi Akinye and I am the senator of this college, the College of Media and Communications. And I am here to present this piece regarding the implementation of security cameras within the parking lot. As we have known prior, the student body has come here personally to talk about how there's like a lack of security here on campus, and by implementing security cameras, starting off with obviously the MCOM parking lot, incorporated also with better lighting, it would help to deter potential criminal activity and provide peace of mind to everyone who utilizes the parking lot. It would also help to provide evidence for law enforcement in case a crime does happen, that they have the evidence of who, what, where, when, why regarding situations that have happened, and overall just kind of like create a safer campus and set the precedent that Texas Tech wants to, kind of portray to everyone. So, Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution 61.63 to second reading and send to all committees.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Emmanuel to place Senate Resolution 61.63 onto second reading and sent to all committees. Please vote in the polls. We're only at 47. Please make sure you're using your clickers again. Senator Poile. With 52 in the affirmative, 1 in the negation, 1 in the abstain, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.64. Senator Enos.
Madam President, I rise to introduce Senate Resolution 61.64 regarding the appointment of Robert Stevens to external vice president. May I proceed?
You may.
Good evening, everybody. If I haven't met you yet, I'm Ali Enos, and I am a senator in the College of Arts and Sciences. So Senate Resolution 61.64 really just states the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding the appointment of Robert Bobby Stevens as external vice president. We see the requirements for this position are very demanding and require someone who's very involved in the community and able to maintain all of their duties consistently and diligently. And our president and our executive team, along with the Rules and Administration Committee, believe that Bobby is a good candidate for this. So with that, Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution 61.64 onto third reading and final passage.
Would you like to suspend the rules first? No. It's been moved and seconded by Senator Villegas. Wait, say that again.
Point of parliamentary inquiry. When you suspended the rules, didn't have to do with that, just that one bill? And
Correct.
not for the rest of the entire session?
Correct.
We're gonna do that in routine?
It was only suspended once. Senator Enos.
I move to suspend the standing rules of the Senate regarding or requiring all pieces be sent to second reading.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Jameson to suspend the standing rule that requires pieces to be placed onto second reading and sent to all committees. This motion is debatable by 3 minutes, unamendable, and requires a 2/3 vote. So any discussion in them for 3 minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor of suspending, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Ayes have it, motion passes, rules are suspended.
With that, Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution 61.64 onto third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Downs to place Senate Resolution 61.64 onto third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, is amendable, and requires a majority vote. Is there any discussion on the floor at this time? Senator Alessio.
Madam President, I move to amend the piece on line 32 in between Stevens and external to say interim, as he is not the external vice president. The piece has not been passed yet.
Noted, thank you. Foreshadowing here. Is there any other discussion? Any other discussion? Seeing none, please vote in the polls. Missing 3. Missing 2. Senator Sassenberg. With 52 in the affirmative, 1 in the negation, and 1 in the abstain, motion passes. At this time, Senator Stevens has pre-resigned from his position as Senator of Arts and Sciences, given the passage of it. I would like to welcome Student Body President and Bobby Stevens up to the podium to be sworn in.
Okay, Bobby, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do hereby solemnly swear
I do hereby solemnly swear
that I shall faithfully execute the duties of the office of Vice President of External Affairs
that I shall faithfully execute the duties of the office of Vice President of External Affairs
of the Texas Tech University Student Government Association,
of the Texas Tech University Student Government Association,
that I shall, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend
that I shall, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the Student Government Association of Texas Tech University
the Constitution of the Student Government Association of Texas Tech University
and the regulations which may be made in pursuance thereof.
and the regulations which may be made in pursuance thereof.
Congratulations.
to business. Senate Resolution 61.65.
Madam President, I rise to present Senate Resolution 61.65 stating the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding the integration of efficient charging seats within the College of Media and Communications. May I please approach the podium?
You may.
All right, hi everyone, I'm back. I'm here to present this piece regarding the integration of charging seats here within the lecture halls of the College of Media and Communications, just because obviously, as you can tell, the seats are very outdated, they're old, and not really upgraded to the times that we're living in. And when technology and the homework and the work that we do is constantly intermingled with our school life, it's important to understand that our batteries are constantly being utilized, and it would just be nice to have some integrated charging seats that utilize USB-A and USB-C ports, because whenever you're using your laptop, your tablet, or your computer, it'd just be great to have those things charged and increase convenience and accessibility for students. So, Madam President, I move to place Senate Bill Resolution 61.65 on second reading and send to all committees.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Paul to place Senate Resolution 61.65 onto second reading and sent to all committees. Please vote in the polls. Three left. Two left. Senator Reiner. There we go. Thanks, Bree. With 50 in the affirmative, 3 in the negation, 0 in the abstain, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.66.
Madam President,
Yes, Senator Tippin.
I rise to present Senate Resolution 61.66, stating the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding the implementation of outdoor security cameras. May I approach the podium?
You may.
Hi guys, I'm back. Okay, so this piece is basically a piece that is going over the continued expansion of outdoor security cameras. So we met with, we've had a lot of students, as Yemi said, who have come forward expressing concerns with student safety and just being afraid to walk other places on campus, just with the lack of security cameras. In case something did happen, we spoke with leadership on October 14th, and they were very open to the idea, and they understood the ongoing expansion of outdoor security cameras. And we talked about how this was just a crucial step in improving campus safety. We also talked with the Texas Tech Police Department, and they expressed that an increase in outdoor camera footage or outdoor camera coverage would significantly aid their ability to monitor and investigate incidents. So overall, just the expansion of that would help our whole entire university, and is something that we really need to focus on. So with that, Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution 61.66 on second reading and send to all committees.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Walker to place Senate Resolution 61.66 on second reading and sent to all committees. Please vote in the polls. Missing one. With 53 in the affirmative, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.67. Senator Baker.
I rise to introduce a resolution 61.67 stating the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding a resolution
So basically this piece is just stating that I want the voting records to be easier to read. I don't know if you currently know how our voting records are being displayed to the public, but there's two different things that you're looking at. You're looking at the votes that we cast as senators, and then you're looking at the pieces that we're writing. So right now at the top, I just have the number of the piece and then the yes or no, and sometimes it has abstain or yes, and if it's passed at the top, and like what numbers are for each piece, but some of them don't, so it's not really consistent on that end. And then at the same time, if you're not in student government and you don't know what you're looking at, you have to go find the pieces and then look at the votes that are being cast, and you don't know who's in your college, if you're supposed to be holding accountable, because we are elected by our constituents to serve our constituents. So I just want to combine them all, so then it'll have the piece and the votes right after it. So Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution 61.67 on second reading and into law.
It's been moved and placed to, moved and seconded by Senator Lujan to place Senate Resolution 61.67 onto second reading and sent to all committees. This motion is undebatable. Unamendable requires a majority vote. Senator Downs.
Madam President, I would just like to preface that I've had multiple senators come up ask questions about this piece, so therefore I move to suspend the standing rule and allow point of information on first reading.
Do I hear a second? It has been moved and seconded by Senator Enos to suspend the standing rule allowing point of informations on this piece. This is undebatable. Undebatable requires a 2/3 majority vote. All those in favor of suspending, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, please say no. Ayes have it, rule suspended. At this moment in time, is there any point of informations on this piece? Senator Hernandez.
So I just wanted to clarify, this is just to make it easier for the public to view kind of how we voted on which piece, correct?
Correct.
How would you recommend that we set that up, or how would that go through that process of making a new kind of formatting?
I just want to combine what we already have, like I stated, so then you don't have to find the pieces and the voting separately. So right now, whenever you go on our Tech Connect, our legislation is under one like drop down where you click and you can find your legislation, and then our voting is another. So whenever I was asking our constituents if they could find it, they had trouble finding the voting and they didn't know what the numbers meant. So I just want to put them on the same, so when you're clicking a drop down, it's on the same thing. If that makes sense.
Senator Sweden.
Point of personal privilege. It's now 7 o'clock. Can you please excuse FYE?
FYE, FYLA, you're all excused if you go at this time of the meeting. Is there any other point of informations at this time for Senator Baker? Senator Villegas?
Have you clarified with the journal clerk how this is going to happen?
I have not clarified. I sent an email on Monday and I received no response.
Is there any other point of informations? Senator Sweden?
Sorry, excuse me. Earlier when you came and presented the piece, you mentioned something about like how the voting system works, where everyone can see what you vote for right then and now. Does that have anything to do with your piece right now, or is this simply just to have a button somewhere to show what we voted for?
So I think you knew whenever I submitted my piece the first time, I rewrote the piece. This is a different piece than you saw on the last time that my piece got held or denied. But what this piece is talking about is whenever we post the voting after the meeting, so that it's all on one drop down, so when the students click it, they can see it. And then there's a piece that I have later on the docket, which is talking about voting in the student session and the Senate chamber.
Thank you.
Any other point of information at this time? Seeing none, please vote on the polls. With 44 in the affirmative, 6 in the negation, 2 in the abstain, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.68. 68.
61.69, not 61.68. But for this piece, it's just to show on the screen. So instead of seeing green, yellow, or red whenever we pass or deny pieces, it's just going to show that you cast your vote. And I think that this would improve the voting records, or just like your ability to cast whatever vote that you want, not what your friends want you to vote, not just pressuring you to vote a certain way, but just so we can say no to pieces that we want to say no to, not because they're horrible pieces, but we want to put our best foot forward in student government, and we're putting great pieces out there, because I think we're doing great work, but I think it could be a little bit better if you were able to vote how you please to. And then after the session, the votes would still be posted for the public, and let's say the vote was tight like it was today for Senator Rodriguez's piece in the beginning, you'd be able to suspend the rules of the student senate or the session, and then put it on the board and see if what you voted to check your vote, and then you'd be able to do that for as many pieces as you'd like to. But as of now, for that, it's only for a specific piece unless it's stated otherwise. So Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution 61.68 on second reading and sent to all committees.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Lujan to place Senate Resolution 61.68 onto second reading and sent to all committees. This motion is unamendable, requires a majority vote. Senator Lujan.
Madam President, again, I'm going to preface, I also had questions on this piece, so therefore I suspend the rule requiring no point of information on first reading. Move to suspend the rule.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Tippin to suspend the standing rules that require no debate or no point of information on first reading. This is undebatable, unamendable, requires a majority vote. Is there any discussion at this point in time? Apologies. Senator Sweden?
Yeah, so I just have a quick question. So what?
Point of order, we haven't voted.
We haven't voted yet.
My bad.
Thank you. Is all those in favor of suspending, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Ayes have it, motion is suspended. Senator Sweden.
Okay, so now I have a question. So what is the point of this piece if the voting records are already public?
I think the point of the piece is right now people are just voting yes on pieces that one, they don't understand, and two, they're not reading. So whenever you're voting yes, it might be nice in the session, but it's not doing anything for our constituents. So in our past sessions, everybody's voting yes, and then whenever I talked to Madeline in my one-on-one with her, she said that in Joelle's session, which was 2 years ago, so that's my freshman year, that they didn't have a no in the chamber until the middle of the session. And I don't think that's okay. Just because you're voting no on something doesn't mean you hate the senator or you don't like the piece, but you think that it could be better. So I think by holding our students' session to higher standards, meaning that you can vote the way that you please to vote without being peer pressured or have any like mental thing telling you otherwise, because you can see your vote on the screen. So you could vote no and you can vote yes, or you can vote absent if you choose to. So that's why I think that it's important.
Senator Tippin.
I just am like opposed to this piece because I feel
Senator
like
Tippin, this is not a debate, this is a point of information.
Point of information. Actually, then no, I don't have anything.
Okay,
to say.
thank you. Senator Sweden.
So you mentioned how you want everyone to like not feel a certain way when their votes are on the screen, but how do you know how people feel if they're just voting for how they want to feel? How do you know what people's feelings are right then and there?
Well, I obviously can't know the minds of everybody in here. I'm not a mind reader, but I do understand how students work. And whenever I was taking my psychology classes, because I am a psychology minor, being a great college of arts and sciences, you get to know like whether you're telling somebody to do something or not. There's a subconscious thing peer pressuring you to do whatever. So if you're sitting next to somebody and it's their piece and you don't want to be friends with them, you want to vote yes. Or if you're going to run with them in the election, you want to vote yes on it. Or if these people are going to be exec next year, you just want to do what they say. So hopefully you can be on the block to run. So just things like that kind of I think impact people whether they believe so or not. So just not showing it during the student session, during our meetings, and then posting it afterwards and having the ability to suspend the rules of the student senate and put the votes up there for the different pieces if you do choose to. So you do have the option to see the votes if you make the motion to.
Senator Mao.
Isn't it our job as senators to represent the students in any and all capacity, and that's by extension showing what we vote for in the chambers at all times, especially if you can see the votes afterwards? Why does it make any difference if we do it now, if we cover it now in the chambers versus it's public information anyways?
So why does it make a difference if we were to hold it for the hour or hour and a half of our meeting if we're going to see it anyways? I think that's a double-sided question. So if it doesn't really matter because we're going to see it at the end anyways, what is holding it for an hour?
Any other questions at this moment in time? Senator Alessio.
With this piece, would we still be able to see the quantities of each vote, or whether or not it just passed or didn't?
You'd be able to see quantities of each vote at the end. You just don't just get to see which individual senator voted for during this meeting. But afterwards, it would be, well, you didn't see the quantities, but they could say passed, and then the number that it passed by, the number that it, like affirmative or negation, if that makes sense.
Senator Hernandez.
Would you consider also adding or like changing the yes or no to abstain and pass, like we saw in previous kind of voting that we had? People were kind of confused on what yes or no meant, and so you know, just kind of what were your thoughts on that?
I'm totally open to doing that. If you make an amendment, I'd second it.
Senator Villegas.
Again, the same question that I asked for the last piece. Have you either found a program that already does this or talked to the journal clerk regarding this piece?
I talked to Mr. Gunn about it, and then I haven't talked to the journal clerk about it yet, but I'm sure that we can find a solution quickly, because it wouldn't happen in this session, but it would be implemented in the next session.
I cannot see your placard up there. Senator Russo, my apologies.
Point of personal privilege.
Say
Can I be excused?
You may. Senator Villegas.
Just a follow-up question, or I guess less of a follow-up question, more of a point of information. All resolutions are dissolved at the end of the session, so how would you get that to be implemented in the next session?
Whoever is going to be IVP in the next session, just like I wrote legislation last year talking about having committee wide pieces, and it got added to this session, but it wasn't added to the last session, I could do the same thing in the next one.
Senator Sweden.
Are you aware of how much this is gonna cost us with our voting program?
Like I answered in your previous question, I have not researched that, but I can get to you shortly at the next meeting.
Is there any other questions at this moment in time? Seeing none, please vote in the polls. With 28 in the affirmative, 22 in the negation, 2 in the abstain, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.69.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise to introduce Senate Resolution 61.69, stating the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding the need for beginning of semester faculty profile update reminders. Can I first vote?
You may.
Thank you, Madam President. This Senate resolution urges Texas Tech University Graduate School to implement a system of beginning of semester reminder emails, encouraging faculty to update their online profile pages. This resolution addresses a problem identified by many graduate students and incoming graduate students. Department websites contain outdated faculty research information, making it difficult for prospective and current students to identify potential mentors and research opportunities. We've spoken with multiple faculty members and the dean of the graduate college, who have all spoken in favor of regular reminders. The proposed solution would implement emails from the graduate college each fall and spring semester, emphasizing how current faculty profiles support graduate recruitment, mentorship matching, and help undergraduates make informed decisions about pursuing graduate education. I move to place this legislation on second reading and be sent off.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Hagaro to place Senate Resolution 61.69 onto second reading and sent to all committees. Senator Sweden.
Part of parliamentary inquiry, can you please explain to the Senate what an abstain vote is, so that way that everyone understands what they're voting for?
Yes, Senator Sweden, I can. In this circumstance, just a reiteration, whenever you abstain, this means that an abstains, you have some sort of conflict with the piece that you wish for your vote not to be counted either in favor or against, just because of something sort of public interpretation of it would be. So this is a conflict with the piece is what an abstain means. You should be voting yes or no. In a regular sense, please voting yes or no. An abstain has the same weight as a negative vote. So if there are still abstains and it beats out the yes or no vote, the piece will still fail. Just to reiterate that. Is there, this motion is debatable. or undebatable requires majority vote. Please vote on the polls. With 50 in the affirmative, 1 in the negation, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.70. Senator Baker.
Madam President, I rise to introduce Senate Resolution 61.70, seeking the sentiments of the student senate regarding adjusting the legislative submission deadline. May I finish the podium?
You may.
Okay, I think this piece is pretty straightforward. I just want to move the deadline for the legislation, instead of it being Monday at 5 p.m. to be Thursday at 5 p.m. I think that this would allow us more time to read our Senate packets and understand what the pieces are, and then we have a question on the pieces beforehand. We can ask the questions before we get to the Senate meetings, so that would make our meetings more productive. And then, can I make a friendly amendment to the piece?
Sure.
I just want to make the parentheses for RNA instead of an and like the N. And then, Madam President, I motion to place Senate resolution, or I move to place Senate Resolution 61.70 on second reading and sent to all committees.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Villegas to place Senate Resolution 61.70 onto second.
I'm not seconding that.
Just kidding. Do I have a second? Senator Fitch, it's been moved and seconded by Senator Fitch to place onto second reading and sent to all committees. Yes, Senator Villegas.
I move to suspend the rules that state we are not allowed to have clinical inquiries or vote on first readings.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Hernandez to suspend the standing rule that does not allow point of information on first readings. This is debatable to 3 minutes, is unamendable, requires a 2/3 majority vote. Is there any debate in the 3 minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor of suspending, please say aye. Yes.
You said point of information and debate.
And debate? It has been moved and seconded to suspend to allow point of informations and debate on this first reading. Is there any discussion? 3 minutes in the affirmative or negation? Seeing none, we shall now proceed to vote. All those in favor of suspending, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no.
No.
Ayes have it, motion passes, rules are suspended. At this moment in time, there is debate on this motion. Yes, Senator Sweden.
I just have a question. Can I ask
Yes, you can ask a question.
Okay. So are you aware that our journal clerk has up to 24 hours before our meeting is her deadline to submit and send it all out to us. So that's her deadline. Are you aware of that? Did you do your research before writing this piece?
Correct, Senator Carr, thank you. You should be directing your questions at the chair. Thank you. What's that?
Was there debate in that?
Yes, there was debate.
Okay. Because she's directing towards, yes, so counts and things too.
All things have to be through the chair. Was that a question?
Yes.
Senator Baker, do you choose to answer that question?
Yes, I do choose to answer the question. Whenever I met with Madeline, I brought up things that either were in my pieces or like helped me write my pieces, or I used as research. So I did do research on our SGA website. All of our constitution, our laws, everything that is posted is outdated. So on our website, it does say 48 hours, not 24 hours. And even at that, I don't know if 24 hours is enough time for you to read all the pieces. There's 20 pieces on the first reading alone tonight. I don't know if everybody read all 20 pieces. So I think that this would just better allow us to make accurate decisions in the chamber. And then if you do have questions about the pieces, you can email the senators that are writing the pieces to get clarification. So then when you're voting on a piece, you know what you're voting on.
Just as a point of order, Senator Baker, those rules were passed in Senate at the beginning. Just because they're not outdated on the website does not mean they still don't hold merit in the Senate. Just to clarify that there. Senator Kirkpatrick.
Just a question. I know that a lot of committees meet on alternate Thursdays. Are you concerned at all that making the deadline would keep
I'm not concerned, but I am open to amending the piece because the rules are already suspended, and putting a different day there. If everybody has a different day, we can move it to Friday if that's better for majority of people. I just think moving the deadline back, regardless of what a day it is, would help the Senate.
Senator Tippin.
And this is, we're able to debate, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I would just say, like, I'm in opposition for this because it's been working since I was a freshman and now a senior. It's been the same way every single year of submitting Mondays at 5 p.m. It works for RNA, it works for their schedule, it works for the Senate. I think 24 hours is plenty of time to read 20 pieces of legislation. And also, part of the reason we go to Senate meeting is to hear legislation and get more further ideas on it. So I think, like, the way we've been doing it's working, so why would we try to change it? I think, like, of course, open to new change and ideas, like, you know, no shade in that way. I just think, like, it's a waste of time to try to, like, redo all this stuff when it's obviously working and we're producing really great pieces. So I would just want everybody to vote no on this.
Senator Villegas.
I was in opposition to this piece, just echoing what Senator Tippin said. Regardless of when we change the legislative deadline, the Rules and Administration Committee still will meet on Monday at 8 p.m. because that's the best day. So changing the deadline, I don't believe will affect much. I think that extra 3 days actually allows for more people to get their Senate resolutions, absences, whatever it may be, committee reports in on time. I think moving it back actually cuts off the Senate and reduces our capability to act. So I do recommend everyone vote no on this piece.
Senator Hernandez.
Does this piece also, because it's saying that we push back submission for legislation, does that also mean we're pushing back submission for absences?
Can I answer your question? That was my intention for the piece. This was just for legislation.
Senator Kirkpatrick.
Yes, this would go into effect next session, not this session. It is an amendment, and I can't amend the rules of the Senate during the session.
Senator Tippin.
I moved the previous question.
It has been moved to previous question by Senator Villegas, Senator Eno, Senator Pois, Senator Whittakin, Senator Downs, and Senator Sweden. To previous question, this is debatable. 3 minutes in the affirmative, 3 minutes in the negation. Unamendable, requires a 2/3 majority vote. Is there any discussion right now on the motion to previous question? Seeing none, all those in favor of previous question, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, please say no. Ayes have it. Previous question passes. We shall now proceed to vote on Senate Resolution 61.70. With 5 in the affirmative, 47 in the negation, 0 in the abstain, this piece fails. Senate Resolution 61.70. 7-1. Apologies, guys.
Madam President, I rise to introduce Senate Resolution 61.71, stating the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding expanding mental health programming for all Texas Tech law students. May I approach the podium?
You may.
Okay, hi guys. My name is Letty Morris. If you haven't met me, I am a senator at the School of Law. So just a super brief context kind of on this piece. We have a set of clinical programs at the law school. They provide free legal services in various areas. Some of those include people dealing with criminal related convictions, people dealing with immigration issues, or also Veterans Affairs. And so for those students, our clinical staff puts together a program from the main campus Student Counseling Center on vicarious trauma and how to interface with clients who deal with trauma and just the ways to navigate that as a legal professional. And it's a super awesome program, but our clinics only have 8 to 10 students each in them, so this is not being made available to that many people when we do it. So this resolution is just to try to encourage our faculty to take that out of the hands of the clinic and
transfer it over to our Dean of Student Life in order to make that programming available to everyone, because we have plenty of students in the school who are already interfacing with clients, even if they're not in a clinic. And even if they're not in their summer jobs doing that already, they will at some point, and this will just help Tech produce better legal professionals upon graduation. And our Dean of Student Life says that if there's a lot of support behind it, then she can probably fund lunch for it, which would also be excellent. So, Madam President, I move to place this legislation on second reading and send to all committees.
It has been moved and seconded by, Senator Bijou, I can't see that high. Senator Bijou to place Senate Resolution 61.71 onto second reading and sent to all committees. Undebatable, unamendable, requires a majority vote. Vote. We're at 47. Please check your clickers. Senator Jordan. With 52 in the affirmative, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.72.
Madam President, I rise to present Senate Resolution 61.72 regarding the sentiments of the Student Senate towards the implementation of a cardboard recycling day. May I first go?
You may.
Hi guys, so if you haven't met me, my name is Emma. I'm a senator for Arts and Sciences. And today I just want to present a piece that regards implementing a recycling day for the beginning of move-in week, because there's a really big lack of cardboard recycling on campus. I know that a lot of students have told me that they've had trouble finding places to recycle cardboard on campus, and so having a cardboard recycling day during move-in week would be a good opportunity for students to recycle cardboard in a time that creates a big load of that material. And so I've talked with getting this implemented with the Housing Association and also with the Student Activities Board in the sub, so we're gonna try to work together to see if we can get that something that can happen. Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution 61.72 onto second reading and send to all committees.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Kirkpatrick to place Senate Resolution 61.72 onto second reading and sent to all committees. This motion undebatable, requires a majority vote. Opposed. Senator Saunders.
Madam President, may we excuse you the chamber for just a moment?
Yes, ma'am. State your point. Missing 10, Senator Duke.
My personal privilege, my LCDs.
Yes, you ma'am. Yes, ma'am, you may. We're at 46, Senator Milstein. Senator Morris. Senator Baker. Senator Akinyeye. With 50 in the affirmative, 1 in negation, 1 abstain, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.73.
Madam President, I rise to present Senate Resolution 61.73, stating the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding signage being posted for the Center for Students in Addiction Recovery to raise awareness to current students of resources available to them. May I first vote?
You may.
So this piece is pretty much a simple awareness resolution. The Center for Students in Addiction Recovery recruits a majority of its students from outside Texas Tech, and with only 8% of the participants being current Texas Tech students. As the center expands its efforts, its enrollment has grown, but many students on our own campus who may benefit from these recovery services still don't know the center exists or what it offers. The resolution points out that Holden Hall already has monitors that cycle through announcements, and adding a short slide about the center to that rotation would increase visibility and inform students who may be in recovery or need support, and potentially increase enrollment in the program. The slide itself has already been drafted and shared with officials in the College of Arts and Sciences, and this resolution simply supports moving forward with displaying it in the regular announcement slideshow. I move to place Senate Resolution 61.73 on second reading and sent to all committees.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Sufuna to place Senate Resolution 61.73 onto second reading and sent to all committees. Senator Mao.
Friendly amendment, line 28, associate academic dean needs to be capitalized.
Appreciate that, Mao. Is there any other friendly amendments? Seeing none, please vote in the polls. Senator Villegas.
Parliamentary, does Senator now EVP Stevens continue as an alternate?
Correct. Friendly amendment. Please remove Senator Stevens as an alternate. Missing 4, 3. Please check your clickers. Senator. With 100% in the affirmative, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.74.
Madam President, I rise to address Senate Resolution 61.74, stating that sentiments of the Student Senate regarding reintroducing Senate Resolution 60.55 regarding integration of grade distribution within the registration format.
You may.
Alright, y'all, basically, this is an old one from last year, Senate Resolution 60.55. And really what's going on here is we want to integrate grade distribution in the course registration system via RadarLink. So if you go into RadarLink, where you can see this is under Explore Course Options, and we want to move this under the Registration tab. Basically what this is going to do for you, you're able to see like basically what, when it comes to professors, like their ratings, you're able to see times better. Just about make it more accessible. With that, Madam President, I move to put Senate Resolution 61.74 on second passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Cox to place Senate Resolution 61.74 onto second reading and sent to all committees. This is undebatable, unamendable, requires a majority vote. Vote on the polls. Bless you. We're at 47. Please check your clickers. Senator Akinyeye, Senator Whittakin. With 53 in the affirmative, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.75, Senator Paul.
Madam President, I rise to present Senate Resolution 61.75, stating the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding the creation of the College of Health and Human Sciences newsletter. May I put the vote?
You may.
Hi guys, it's me again. So pretty much this piece is about the creation of a newsletter. So there has been a lack of communication in the College of Health and Human Sciences. We met with our dean, and due to the large amount of departments we have in our college, there has been like events and like events that's been going on that we haven't been aware as students. So this newsletter will like pretty much help having those scholarship events and student organization put out there for everyone in the college to see. So with that, Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution 61.75 on second reading and send to all committees.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Edwards to place Senate Resolution 61.75 onto second reading and sent to all committees. Undebatable, unamendable, requires a majority vote. Vote in the polls. Senator Villegas. With 51 in the affirmative, 1 in the abstain, motion passes. Proceeding onwards to second reading, Senate Resolution 61.41, Senator Bijou.
Madam President, I rise to reintroduce Senate Resolution 61.41, stating the sentiments of the student session or Senate regarding the creation of a Spanish for healthcare professionals minor within the College of Arts and Sciences at West. May I proceed?
You may.
Hello everyone. This is just a piece about the implementation of a Spanish medical minor. It just gives students the ability to learn Spanish in a healthcare setting because spoken Spanish and Spanish in a healthcare setting are vastly different. With that, I move to place Senate Resolution 61.41 to second reading and third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Duke to place Senate Resolution 61.41 onto third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable to the second degree, and requires a majority vote to pass. Is there any discussion on this motion? Seeing none, please vote in the polls. Senator Fitzmaurice, Senator McAllister. (53) in the affirmative, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.42.
Madam President, I rise to reintroduce Senate Resolution 61.42, stating the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding the installation of blinds in the Agricultural Education and Communications Building. May I approach the podium?
You may.
Hi everyone, so this piece is about the installation of blinds in agricultural educations and communications building. The windows are extremely old in there and we have not had any reinstalled in a very long time because we don't have any money in the budget to do so. So by implementing blinds in those rooms, this is going to just create more opportunity for students and faculty without distraction. So, Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution 61.42 onto third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Bremiger to place Senate Resolution 61.43 onto third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable, and requires a majority vote. Is there any discussion on this motion? Senator Alessio.
President, I move to increase by adding on line 30, Mr. Sean Childers, Vice President of Operations. This is done because the piece is simply going to go to the dean, and for something with operations, it should also go to people who do operations.
Okay, absolutely.
Do you accept that as a friendly amendment?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Is there any other discussion on this motion? Seeing none, please vote in the polls. At 48, please check your clickers. Missing one. Senator McAllister. With 53 and the affirmative motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.43. Senator Baker.
Madam President, I rise to reintroduce Senate Resolution 61.43, stating the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding the establishment of a bi-weekly SGA newsletter to strengthen communication engagement. May I approach the podium?
You may.
Okay guys, I introduced this at the last student Senate session, so I won't take too long. But basically, I just want to have us send out a bi-weekly newsletter so then we can get more in the community, and then the community can know more about the student government, so then they see us outside the Senate chamber, and the students get to know more of what's going on campus that they otherwise wouldn't know much about. So, Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution 61.43 on third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Enos to place Senate Resolution 61.43 onto third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable to the second degree, and requires a majority vote. Is there any discussion on this? Senator Sweden.
I rise in opposition of this piece. While the intent behind the Senate Resolution 61.43 is commendable, aiming to improve communication and transparency between SGA and the student body, the proposed bi-weekly newsletter may not be the most effective and efficient way to achieve these goals. First, past attempts by university organizations to use email newsletters have demonstrated that engagement through this format is extremely low. Many students already receive dozens of emails each week from Texas Tech departments, organizations, and professors, leading to email fatigue. As a result, another reoccurring newsletter risks it being overlooked and sent directly to spam, failing to reach its intended audience. Second, the time and the resources required to maintain a bi-weekly publication, including the collection of content, editing submissions, designing layouts, and coordinating with multiple departments, could place unnecessary strain on SGA members and staff. These efforts might be better allocated towards a more interactive, student-centered outreach methods such as social engagement, town halls, or collaborating with existing student organizations. Third, several communication platforms already exist for sharing campus updates such as tech announce radar notifications and university social media accounts. Adding another newsletter could create a redundance rather than clarity, potentially confusing students about where to find accurate and timely information. Lastly, improving transparency and engagement should focus on a two-way communication, not a one-way update. Instead of sending information to students, SG should prioritize initiatives to allow students easily to communicate with their representatives through Q&A sessions, surveys, pop-ups, or pop-ups across campus, which is already being done. In conclusion, while the goal of fostering stronger engagement is important, a bi-weekly SJ newsletter is unlikely to achieve the desired impact. A shift towards a more interactive, accessible, and student-driven methods would better serve the purpose of transparency and a meaningful connection between SGA and the student body. Therefore, I encourage you all to fill this piece due to all the reasons I mentioned tonight.
Can I respond?
Yes, you may have a debate.
Okay. So whenever I met with Mr. Gunn about this, I don't know if you guys were here whenever Joelle was student body president, but they sent a lot of emails out our freshman year. And then this wouldn't just be SGA. Different student organizations have the ability to use the SGA newsletter to send out their own updates. So I don't know if you got not an update, but a newsletter from SGA about voting or registering to vote. That was the SGA newsletter that I was talking about, or that was what I was mentioning. So, a number of people said that they saw it in their email, and that's how they knew that we were registering voters that day, so otherwise they wouldn't have known about it. And yes, she's right, we do have other forms of communication, but the communications aren't working as much. Everybody gets emails, and I don't read the tech announce, I don't read any updates in there, but I read it when it has my name in it. I don't know if it's just me or if it's other people too. But I think this would work because it's not just SGA, it's the different student organizations too. And then the formatting that she's talking about, we already have a platform to do it. So you just have to submit it in a certain but size if you're doing an image, but otherwise it's pretty easy for Mr. Gunn to do it because there's already people that have the job. So it's not like I'm implementing anything new, I'm just using the systems that we already have and we're not utilizing as much.
Senator Mao.
I have a question for the author in terms of who's actually going to be in charge of making this and the content and actually putting it all together
well, we already have the platform, like I mentioned earlier, and Mr. Gunn has them to do it. The only reason that we weren't doing it previously is there was no way for him to get, like, they would have to send it to him, and then he would have to send it to the people that were sending the newsletter out. But now that there's a direct connection, so if we were to do this, we could put a form up, and then they could send what they wanted to send to the students in the form, and then the people that are sending the update out would get it. So it's not like somebody would have to reformat it and put it in there. It would just be like a one system, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly.
Senator Walker.
Is the debate still going?
Yes, ma'am.
I was just gonna say, like, I know that they'll touch on this later, but one of the committees I'm on is working on something like this, so if you don't like the idea of a newsletter, just like try to think of something that, like, you mentioned, like social media or like different outreach, like it's in the works, so if you don't like the idea of a newsletter, you can let me know.
Senator McCall.
Oh, I think this is a really great idea, and I actually read all of my emails, and I feel like a lot of people don't really know about SGA or like what's going on in our meetings. So I think that would be really great to like send out to everybody.
Senator Tippin.
I move the previous question.
It's been moved and seconded by Senator Sassenberg, Senator Plough, Senator Feuerbacher, Senator Hernandez, Senator Walker to previous question. This motion is debatable for 3 minutes in the affirmative, 3 minutes in the negation. Unamendable, requires a 2/3 majority vote. Is there any discussion on if we should previous question right now? Senator Downs.
Madam President, point of privilege.
State your point.
May I be excused from the chamber?
You may. Any discussion on the motion to previous question? Senator Sweden.
I think that there was a lot of placards risen up for questions, so I think that we should allow those people to ask the questions that they have to the author of that piece.
Thank you. Any other discussion in the negation? Seeing no, we should not proceed to vote. All those in favor of previous question, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no.
No.
A division has been called. All those in favor, please signify by rising. Thank you. Please be seated. All those opposed, please signify by rising. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let the record show 8 in the negation. All those abstained, please signify by rising. Seeing none, let the record show 8 in the negation. Previous question passes. We should not proceed to vote on this piece. Vote and polls. Senator Richard.
I would like to place a friendly amendment on this as a co-sponsor for this piece. Is that available to me?
Yes, please come tell the journal clerk at the end. Senator Baker.
Can you repeat the conversation that was just asked? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the question.
It was a request for co-sponsor.
Can I have myself as a co-author on this piece?
Senator Baker. Do you allow her as an author? 49 votes. Senator Reiniger, thank you. With 41 in the affirmative, 1 in the abstain, or 10 in the negation, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.44.
Madam President, I rise to present Senate Resolution 61.44, stating the sentiments of the students regarding updates to Room 107 in the Agricultural Education and Communications Building at Richmond.
It's all yours.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that the last time I presented this piece, I said fixed, but I actually meant to say updated. So the technology in the room definitely needs to be updated. It's the Promethean board that they're having trouble with. The issue has been raised by students and faculty, and work orders have been put in the past, but problems continue to occur, so this is just kind of raising more awareness towards that. With that being said, Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution onto third reading and final passage.
It's been moved and seconded by Senator Mills to place Senate Resolution 61.44 onto third reading and final passage. It is debatable, amendable to second degree, requires a majority vote. Senator Alessio.
Friendly amendment again, the Standing Operations would be Sean Childers, Vice President of Operations.
Thank you. Any other discussion on this? Seeing none, vote in the polls. Senator Richard, Senator Jameson, Senator Riddens.
I'm already in there, Madam President.
Okay, thank you. Senator Caro. Senator Bijou. With 51 and, oh, can you call it? 51 and the affirmative motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.45. Senator Sifuna. You may. Yes, Senator Tippin.
Personal privilege, may I use the restroom?
You may.
So this piece introduces the Graduate Student Care and Connection Initiative, which calls for proactive, structured support systems to help graduate students navigate academic, personal, and interpersonal challenges before they become crises. So many graduate students really struggle to know where to turn to when facing a lot of problems with their mentors and also personal stress. So this initiative addresses that gap through 3 key components. So we introduce a Who Do I Talk To resource tool to connect students to the right officers quickly. We also introduce a graduate peer navigator program that provides confidential peer guidance and a graduate mentorship communication toolkit to strengthen advisor-advisee relationships. So by promoting early support, stronger connections, and effective communication, this initiative advances Texas Tech commitment to graduate well-being, retention, and also research excellence. So with that, Madam President, I move to place this legislation on 3rd reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Kirkpatrick to place Senate Resolution 61.45 onto 3rd reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable to the 2nd degree, and requires a majority vote. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, vote in the polls. Liven up, friends. Open your eyes a little. In the affirmative, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.46. Senator Richard.
Madam President, I rise to introduce consent resolution 61.46, stating sentiments of the student senate on the need to enhance intersection safety via the installation of flashing LED lights on stop signs. May I first call you?
You may.
Thank you, Madam President.
Hey everyone, if you don't know me yet, my name is Sarah Richard. I am a senator for the College of Health and Human Sciences. Also, I apologize, these are a brand new set of braces, so talking is a little bit of a struggle. Please bear with me. This piece is reintroduced to place flashing LED stoplights
lights on the stop signs across campus because, as we know, it's getting dark very quickly now, and traffic on campus and around campus can be very dangerous. So this is just to help people stay safe across campus with these lights on stop signs. It helps people see them better so we don't have any more accidents, or at least try to prevent as many as possible. With that, Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution 61.46 on third reading and final passage.
It's been moved and seconded by Senator Baker to place Senate Resolution 61.46 onto third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable to the second degree, requires a majority vote. Senator Sweden.
Just a friendly amendment. May I please be added as a co-sponsor for this piece?
Would you allow co-sponsor?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, open the polls. Senator Jameson. Yes, you may. Senator Rodriguez, your vote. With 51 in the affirmative, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.47. Sorry, Senator Emanuel. You may.
Hi everyone. This piece is just like I already mentioned in the last meeting, to provide a graduate counselor for graduate students, because most times some of them don't feel so cool going in the general counselorship where they meet their the students they teach, either in TA or maybe RA or something, but they feel more safe. And other schools have also implemented this same strategy, and it worked very well to ensure effectiveness of graduate students being able to have good mentorship and have good good time in school without having to feel dejected or having to feel sober going to meet their students in the same way they meet the counselor. So please, with that, I move to place Senate Resolution 61.47 on third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Repetto to place Senate Resolution 61.47 onto third reading and final passage. This is debatable, amendable to the second rank, and requires a majority vote. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, vote in the polls. We only have 46 votes. Check your clickers. Senator Mao. Senator Jameson. Not here. With 49 in the affirmative, motion passes. At this time, we'll begin reading the consent calendar. If you are presenting a piece on the consent calendar, please line up in the order of which you are presenting at this time. Senate Resolution 61.76.
Good evening, everyone. I am presenting a congratulatory piece for the Texas Tech University Livestock Judging Team. This one specifically deals with their first place overall win with the 2025 American Royal Livestock Judging Contest in Kansas City, Missouri. I also would like to recognize their head coach, Dr. Rathman, as well as Skylar Scotton and the assistant coach, Case LaRoe. Several of the team members were recognized for their outstanding performance, so just think it would be appropriate to recognize them.
Senate Resolution 61.77.
Hi everyone. So the Student Senate would like to congratulate Dr. Marive Bastagon, the Assistant Professor of Educational and Instructional Technology, for receiving the Poster of Excellence Award at the AECT 2025 conference for the College of Education representation. Several Texas Tech faculty, alumni, and doctoral students attended the conference, showcasing our university's strong presence in educational technology.
61.78.
Hey y'all, this piece is to congratulate Lauren Hill, the Director of Student Involvement, for her extraordinary leadership and achievements in advancing student engagement, leadership development, and organizational growth at Texas Tech University.
61.79.
Hi everyone, so this is to congratulate Rob Sherwin, who's the Director of Advocacy Programs here at Tech Law, and he was named, or the program was named, the 2024 to 2025 American Bar Association Competition Champions, #1 in the nation.
61.80.
Good evening, everyone. 61.80 is congratulating all of the Davis College students that earned their American FFA degree. The American degree is earned by less than 1% of FFA members, so it is definitely a prestigious award, so I think that we should congratulate them.
61.81.
So this piece is to congratulate the School of Financial Planning on Opportunity Days. So that was a 3-day conference-style event where students got to network with leading firms in the industry, and some of our students got internships already, so yeah.
61.82.
Hey guys, this piece is to congratulate the Phi Gamma Delta fraternity, also known as Fiji, on their victory in the Greek Basketball Association Championship. They won the inaugural season with a 12-1 record, pretty impressive, so this piece is to congratulate their victory. And with that being said, Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution 61.76 through 61.82 on third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Cervantes to place Senate Resolution 61.76 through 61.82 onto third reading and final passage. Please be aware that all of these of the consent calendar must pass with a 100% affirmative vote. Is there any reason at this moment in time why we should separate this calendar? Seeing none, please vote in the polls. Please remain quiet in the chamber. We're still on air. Senator Wood again. Thank you. With 100% in the affirmative, motion passes. Any member of the Student Government Association may make relevant announcements at this time. If you wish to address the Senate, please stand for recognition. Senator Richard.
I just wanted everybody to know I brought cookies and stuff. Please enjoy them.
Senator Villegas.
Good evening, everyone. I sent out a calendar invite for Tuesday, the 11th from 5 to 7 for the teachers and your SGA discount as outreach. This has been a ongoing plan with College of Sciences. It's also a great way to reach out to all of your lovely constituents that you all serve. It's just a quick, easy 2 hours, come and go. You don't have to stay the whole time, but just to show face, show up, maybe play games, volleyball, and get out some shirts. Thanks, guys.
Senator Sweden.
Hey guys, if you're camping out, please come to Club Raidерville. I know you guys saw my Instagram. We're gonna have a lot of free stuff, some giveaways, some free food and snacks. So stop by even if you're just coming to the stuff.
Senator Mao.
As a reminder, y'all, the mixer is next Wednesday. If you haven't got an email about it, you will get another email about it. Be there. The faculty, staff, senators are excited to be there. So I want to make sure to see you all there.
Any other senators have announcements? At this moment in time, I want to take a second to thank you all again for your hard work. I know this is kind of a late meeting, but your work never goes unnoticed. And additionally, I want you to take a deep breath, take a look around the room. The people in here are your friends. You're working with them every single day. But you're all working very diligently to put your foot forward, and I appreciate you so very dearly. And that goes in and out of this Senate. So again, I want to thank you very much for all of the work you do. Please stay safe this weekend. Be safe this weekend. Bring blankets if you are camping out. Beat the Cougs. Senator Hernandez.
I move to adjourn.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Pois to adjourn. All those in favor, please say aye. All opposed, please say no. Ayes have it. Meeting is adjourned.